Welcome to the CFG Game Cast, episode number 262, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers who like to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode every week and release it on all podcast services, so do us a favor and show us some love by liking, following, subscribing, and commenting on our YouTube page at the CFG or on our Twitch page, CFG Games, or go to our main website, ConflictedAirr.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today, I got two awesome co-hosts. I got Pop in the second seat. How are you doing, Pop?
I am doing fantastic. The semester is finally over, and I don't have to see these kids. I mean, young adults. Kids, same difference. I don't know. They're not kids. They're not quite kids, but they're not quite adults yet. I say yet because, you know, they got to get their, degree, mature, experience the world, all that. Because I don't really teach seniors until the spring semester. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the sophomores that I got to deal with. And I have to deal with them once again next school year, this upcoming school year. But I'm on a nice little break until the middle of August. I've been getting back into Monster Hunter Wilds. I kind of slacked up on that because I was getting some speedrun stuff together. Mm-hmm. That's all set in stone. And I haven't really been doing much of anything else.
Oh, that's cool. Well, it's funny though. It's kind of funny. Like, name me say you're a jaded teacher without saying that you're a jaded teacher. When you're saying I hate my kids, I
don't hate them.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
It's my coworkers. I don't really hate them either. It's just when something needs to be done, I get the emails, and I'm like, I understand. I'm filling in for my mentor who would have done all this stuff for y'all. But we are not the same. Y'all need to figure this out. It's above my pay grade.
I will say you're the third teacher I know within this space. I will say that. And y'all all say the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all all say the same thing. You're the third teacher I know. Like, legit.
It's not even like it's not like a worst case secret. It's usually about it's like all the pressure that comes with becoming a teacher, not the students. Yeah, so I understand. I totally understand.
Yeah, I think if I just had my master's, it'd be fine. But it's something about like that master's, the PhD. It's just like I see how my coworkers get treated. That they don't have their PhD, they don't have to worry about some of the logistics. But the ones with the PhD, we get all the questions. I'm just like, I'm just here.
Just go on with it. Jeez,
y'all told me to fill in. I'm filling in. Just let me go home.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Hey, but you know what, Pop? As you could tell, we found a way. Smitty found the fountain of youth. He decided to shave off the dreads. But we got a special guest today. We got a dude who is a really cool pillar of the gaming community that's slowly growing up. He is the creator and founder of Black Sky Gamers on Blue Sky for social media. Really cool place that you need to definitely check out and also be able to tag if you're a POC or and just love content creating. I got the creator and also is a variety streamer himself. I have ConflictedAirr to the show today. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. And like I said earlier, I'm like glad to be here. It really is a blessing to be here and meet other people. I would never think I would be in a space like this with people that look, just like me and stuff like that, and be able to talk about games the way that we do, talk about content creation, and just have an overall great time. And I'm living the dream life now, especially since Defiance is now back. Go play Defiance now. But yeah, I'm living every day. To me is like a dream, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Nah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Well, welcome to the show. We got a lot of different kinds of stuff to always do and play to do. Like for me, I'm just glad, Pop, that you're playing Monster Hunter again. I didn't know that you took a break, but I've been too busy recently too, so I've kind of been slacking off behind it. I did do the raids, the most recent raids that they added, and then I also did the seasonal event, and that was fun too. But did you finish the game? Are you at least past hard mode in it?
Oh yeah, I got to rank 100 before April even started.
Oh, wow. You're cool.
And
okay, good. Okay,
yeah, I'm like rank 120 now, something like that.
Oh, you're even
121,
higher than
21,
me,
something
so I
like
shouldn't
that.
even talk. I can't talk crap. You're higher than me. Never mind. So we're
Yeah,
good.
I did as much as I could during my spring break, and I was like, I don't know what April's gonna look like because it's final projects, got a grade test, and all that crap. And
Okay.
got back on, and I'm glad like when I got back there was stuff for me to do because I hate when there's like ongoing games like that. You come back after a break and I was just like, well, I don't have anything to do, so I'm just gonna log back off. But I got on, had stuff to do. It was fun.
I've been, Haseo was calling me out like always, saying I've been waiting for CFG to Manhunt. I know, dude. Like I've been constantly working ever since I got back. I've been running the midnight oil, dude. But we'll get back to it. I know y'all don't want to talk about my my Monster Hunter excuses, so we'll go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of discussion in the world of video games. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry, and we do not want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners and viewers on Twitch and on YouTube, to be a part of the conversation as always. So if there is something that you want to chime in about whatever we talk about, we'd love to discuss it with you, and just type it inside the chat and we will go from there. So let's get started, and I'll start this off this time around because I was just kind of wondering about this because I'm pretty sure if y'all are fans of the show, y'all know where I stand with GTA 6. I like the game, but I don't know if I'm willing to just get it day one. I know this game is going to be it's going to be nuclear when it comes out because everyone's been wanting to get it, but now the official statement from Rockstar Games says that GTA 6 is now officially delayed to May 26th of 2026. They released a trailer earlier this week showing a little bit that they've been very hesitant, and they kind of kept it into their near their chest about releasing anything about it because they don't want any more leaks or anything whatsoever. So trailer number 2 just came out this year. I don't think we're going to be, and they've also said prior that they're not going to be releasing any other trailers so far, but these companies lie, so who knows? So I won't be surprised if something else comes out in the future. But anyways, so on Rockstar's webpage, they said that they posted this on May 2nd. Hi everyone, Grand Theft Auto 6 is now set to release on May 26, 2026. We are very sorry that this is later than you expected. The interest and excitement surrounding a new Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling for our entire team. We want to thank you for our support and your patience as we work to finish the game. With every game we have released, the goal has always been to try and exceed your expectations, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is no exception. We hope you understand that we need this extra time to deliver at the level of quality you expect and deserve. We look forward to sharing more information with you soon. Sincerely, Rockstar Games. So for me personally, I am perfectly fine with this. Like I've always said that in this kind of day and age, especially when it comes to game creation and game, that games need to be at its best when it comes out, or the biggest thing for me was the game needs to be complete of some sort of level. Don't get me wrong, I'm fine with patches, I'm fine with stuff like that when there's tweaks and stuff, but they can't release half a game and then say the other half of this feature in this game is coming out 6 months in the future from now. If they're going to do that, if they're going to be focusing on getting the quality of the game day one and then advance it up and then just making it better and polished, take as much time as you need. I mean, we've been waiting 10 to 12 years for this game already to come out now, and then another year, especially now that you're seeing videos and stuff like that showing how close that they are to kind of for it to officially come out. Because when it comes out, we're going to see so many different kinds of content creators playing it, so many different kinds of videos of different kinds of people playing to doing it. I mean, that kind of for me, I'm like I'm ready for the break, dude. I'm ready. There's so many good games that are out now that people are going to just time will fly and get to that point. So I kind of want to get y'all's opinions. Like where do y'all stand for them to officially announce with GTA 6?
I hope the extended time is for online to not be busted. Like the reason I stopped playing GTA 5 online was because I'm just I'm tired of my character looking busted. Like I want my character to be pretty like the chicks on the artwork and in the game. Like why does mine have to look like she hasn't bathed in 5 days?
No, that's
Why
facts.
do I look like this?
That's facts. That's big facts. Like if you look at almost every single male and female character on GTA Online, they almost all look the same. Done, dusted, busted, confuzzled, like it's bad, like really, really bad. Unless you're playing like no pixel, right? And then that's whenever you can have more creation, but that's like completely modded servers and like not something different, but it's like completely modded servers. So I really do hope, just like Pop said, that they're using that to for the online also. But I also hope that the online launches with the game, because I don't know if y'all remember whenever GTA 5 first launched, we couldn't play GTA 5 online for like, what was it, like 3 months almost? Like
I think it was, it felt like it's a little bit, it felt like I thought it was longer.
Months.
Yeah, it was long. Like it was long.
It was like a good chunk of the year.
I think I was going to say like 6 months, almost.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah. No. Well, I mean, like, you know what? Like, I think, to be fair, for that, when it was released, that Grand Theft Auto itself, like when 5 came out for its online, wasn't that a first for them to be going 100% online the way it is? Because I mean, really, now it's to a point that the online encapsulate over, the experience of a GTA, because the GTA community kept it alive to as long as it had that it has for over 10 years, and made the game even super more like ridiculously relevant for as long as it's been going on. I think that it's definitely that they know they struck gold with the online. And I think that that's where I mean, I guess it's just speculation. This is not official, but I think that they're wanting to make sure that they're going to give you as much of the best experience as you possibly can on day one, because online is not going to be polished. Like it's definitely not going to be polished because you don't have a scope. Is scope the best way to describe it? There's going to be a lot of people. Let's just say that there's going to be a shit ton. There's going to be a shit ton of people to kind of gauge where that popularity is going to be. So that it's just inevitable that there's going to be a lot of glitches, a lot of issues that they're going to overlook until they get that flood of consistency of issues and errors and stuff that's going to happen. It's going to be I'm not going to be if they release it and then nothing is going to happen. That's like a super kudos to Rockstar, but I know it's not going to happen. I mean, just like the reservation process for the Nintendo Switch too. When I saw that it's going to be online, I was like, nope, not even going to try for it. I'm just going to go to GameStop and do it. I've seen that dance of reservations because it's always under sales. I feel like it's going to be the same way for GTA. I'm looking forward to the story more for GTA because the story modes for GTA are so freaking fun. And there's so many different things that you can do, and they just and I mean, it's sandbox at its best. They've basically mastered sandboxing, sandbox games. So well, like I said, May 26th. It sucks to see. We were expecting it to be end of the year, and now they're adding another 5 to 6 months. So be it. I mean, but. I ain't mad. I'm really not mad, dude. There's so many games that are coming out this year that I'll be like, you know what? I got to still finish some RPGs. There's so many different kinds of action. The Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out with Pokemon and stuff. Man, I'm cool. I'm good. I'll take that.
You could not be more right on that fact. I would like to add when it comes to like Rockstar's online, just like quick. They actually had the first success like taste experience with online GTA, I believe, with GTA 4, because GTA 4 had like it was basically like sandbox. They had like team deathmatch and stuff like that, but it was like they also had like this sandbox mode in GTA 4 online that was like insanely fun, and even like a little small zombies thing they had going on too. It was so fun, man. It was so fun. So I really hope that they capitalize on the success GTA 5 had online. They do something like more creation modes, like kind of like how Fortnite took a little bit of the Roblox pie and made people like create their own games and stuff like that. I want them to do something like that for GTA. Like, definitely, that would be great.
That would be amazing if they did. I mean, I'm sorry. Were you gonna say something, Pop? Sorry.
Oh no, I was just agreeing.
Oh, okay. Well, here's a question though.
The Gary's mod approach.
Oh, yeah, no. Do you know what's going to suck? And this is what I feel like it's going to suck, because I feel like this game, like especially what's it called? GTA is going to be a game that you're going to buy twice. Like if you are a true GTA fan, because what sucks about it is the fact that it's exclusivity on console, but once the game comes out on PC, that's when the real fun is going to happen, because that's where when the mods and all this craziness, the private servers, the RP servers and stuff like that. And just to imagine on the fact that this game is going to probably like, the expectations of the game being $100 is like not so far-fetched at this point, you know. And I just feel that when you're going to be spending almost $200 for this game, and like the level of expectations for this game is so high that they can't mess it up. They absolutely can't mess it up. They know that they're going to get their money, but at the same time, they absolutely in a situation where they have to deliver this gem of a game, since they virtually haven't done anything besides Red Dead Redemption 2, you know. But like so I don't know, man. It's I'm not even gonna say it's a pass. I usually prefer them to say that this game got delayed than just release an unpolished or unfurnished game, you know.
I wish more people had that thought, because a lot of people get upset about delays. But as somebody, like, it's not me trying to be on big corporation side, but I think about like the smaller cogs in the wheel, right? That the developers and stuff like that, whenever something just isn't ready, it just isn't ready. And I would want the thing that I'm potentially going to drop $100+ on to be worth $100+ and not be upset. Then it launched unready and I spent $100+ and then I'm sitting here mad as hell at myself, right? So I'd rather. I wish more people had that thought process. Like, hey, it sucks, but I don't mind waiting a little bit longer, because, you know, I want this to be worth my money.
It's patience. This is where it comes down to. It's just the patience itself that's really is going to come down to. But like, yeah, social media, and let alone, I'm not saying everyone in the gaming community. It's very brutal, because it's basically that one what's called JG Wentworth. I want my money and I want it now. Kind of. It's that kind of mentality, you know. That's the. It is what it is. But no, yeah, just be patient. You got it. There's no race. Like there's no fire. Just hopefully just get it to the most level of optimization that it's going to be, because I mean the trailer makes this game look even better, you know.
Trailer's insane.
Yeah, because I mean the graphics of this game looks way better than I thought it was going to be. Like you said, with five, even though 5 was 12 to 13 years ago, it's showing its age, and this totally shows the next level up in the GTA series itself. So yeah. So well, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's like, good job. Like, I'm really glad that. And you know what I love about this though too? This game never said the release date. No. I was expecting them to delay anyways, because it's Rockstar. Rockstar has not released a game on the day that they said that they ever when they said it's going to come out. So I was expecting them to do a delay, but I like the fact that they weren't messing with the people's, like, you know, emotions on this, like say, oh, the game's supposed to come out in November, and then it's literally like a month before November, and then they're like, oh, we're going to delay it, we're going to push it back. It's like no, they set this up all the way back to May, like basically a year. It's been a year already, and who's to say that it's going to get delayed again? You know, so keep that in mind too. So like, it's very possible that they're just that they didn't want the delay, and then they're thinking that it's safe to say another 6 months should be good enough though too. But it's not a guarantee. So yeah. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. I know people are like, stop, like licking their lips and trying to get it, but just calm down. We got it. You know.
I got a question for you, Pop, because you initially mentioned like the online feature, right? So have you played Red Dead Online at all?
I have not.
Okay, so do you know about how they how you can buy 2 different versions of Red Dead? You can buy the whole game with the online with it, or you can just buy just the online version.
Yeah, because my brother, I've seen my brother play through the games, and I just never had like a huge interest in Red Dead. Listen, when Red Dead dropped and they had the horses and things, I've been on a Rockstar needs to bring back Midnight Club, but I'm not going to get into that. But oh yeah, I know about how the Red Dead Online and how they changed some things. And
yeah,
it's funny that you mentioned that, because my brother was just like, they might do the same with GTA 6.
I was thinking like that's what I was thinking. Like, what would be y'all's thoughts on like, hey, because people like me, like I don't mind single player, but I really don't find myself playing a lot of single player games. Most of the games I play involve multiplayer to some extent, right? So I think it would be like a pretty cool idea if like you could just buy the multiplayer version of the game and it'd be like significantly less. And then if you wanted to like upgrade to the single player or whatever, or get the single player, you can get it whenever you want it. What do y'all think about that?
Do you know what's funny?
I think they should do that because I have no interest in playing. I'm sorry, GTA's story has not been significantly good since like 4. They kind of took a different route, and then like I don't know what they were trying to do at 5. It was I don't know if they like were trying to take notes, and I'm not trying to compare companies, but RGG and the Yakuza games, they constantly swap through characters, and in most cases it's done very well, and other games do it too. And I'm like, I need Rockstar to not take this approach of trying to move through different characters, because the one who we all thought was going to be the focus character was not, and it made people upset.
Yeah. You didn't like 4 story?
No, I think they took liberty.
Are you talking about 4 or 5? Was good. I did not like 5 story.
Yeah, but I think 5. I think they're just trying to do different kind of liberty of I mean, like they've done the same story with one protagonist the whole time. They wanted to try and do it with multiple protagonists, and then I kind of agree. I wasn't a big fan of 5 story comparatively, because like the story was the characters were so different, and even though that most of, and then like even though Mike was, I forgot the main guy, Mike, the ringleader was cool, but like Trevor and what's his name, the black dude, Franklin, I felt like they kind of threw them a bone to be like, okay, y'all are also relevant too. They should have just kept it with one person.
That's exactly how it felt like. I
didn't feel that. Now, I didn't think 5 story was absolutely great, but I think what they were trying to do, and like what I got from it, because I did appreciate the story in and of a sense, because you have Michael, who is, he basically was in witness protection, basically, tried to change his life and everything like that. He's in the middle of a midlife crisis, right? Then you have Trevor, who was really, really close with Michael, who was basically like his best friend. And then like whenever he saw Michael die initially, quote unquote, like his whole life like spiraled out of control. Like him seeing Michael like that just spiraled out of control. And then all of a sudden figuring out that Michael's back, like Michael is alive this whole time. He was basically fed a whole lie, and his whole life spiraled from that. And then you have like Franklin, who's coming off of the Grove Street families and like everything that they did, him and his friends trying to make their own names and stuff like that. And then he gets it is a lot. It is a lot to keep track of. But then all of them together do have like one common thing. Is the fact that they all trying to come up, and then they do come together. But it also doesn't help that if you don't play the online mode, you don't get to see the continuation and the fully fleshed out versions of their story, because their stories like end in the online mode. Yeah. Whenever you do missions for them.
And that's why I hate 5 story. Why is it ending in online mode?
That's another thing, because like you should never finish a story that starts on an offline and then end it, and then saying that you have to play the online to kind of get the full grasp of it. Like it's fine to having its own different kinds of
me
world.
That saw the character creator in online and cut off the game because I refused. Granted, I eventually did it because my friends wanted me to play with them, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna go back to like other games with a character creator where I can look like a boss, and I don't want to look busted.
Yeah, you know what though? Like, well, then again though too. I mean, the creator on PC made it look made it better because there was a lot of people that made a lot of like mods and stuff to make your characters look a lot better than what the initial in-game stuff is. But like I said, it's a lot of effort. It's not like something that you would easily do in simple. But kind of back to your point with the conflicted, I think like, to be honest with you, for them to do something like that, I think would probably be a wise decision to give them a different kinds of options. Because like because I'm in the same boat with Pop. Like the odds for me to play online is very limited, and the only reason why I would care to play online, if it was up to me, I would pay the money to do the story mode for the console, and then do the online for the PC, because PC is going to be the best place to play it anyways.
Yes, like, my train of thought exactly. Yeah, but even if I don't play it, because I'm not really interested in the story, like. The trailer doesn't even have me interested. I'm more interested in like the characters look really, really good here. What is online gonna look like? Because
I had a character look like Kodak Black.
I'm just like, listen, I would be down to play online. Now, I'm not going to be playing the story because there's some titles coming out next year that are going to have my attention, and GTA 6 is not one of them, unfortunately.
So there you go. But like I said, but overall, I think, but we'll see. Like I said, I think this game is definitely going to be, well, we already know this game is going to be is successful. There's no doubt in my mind that this game is going to go crazy. So we'll see how that's going to get their money overall. Oh, the dev.
Rockstar, if you're watching this, have an online separate, to sold separately.
That was one of the good things that they did with Red Dead Redemption, was letting you just, if you want to just play online, and it was only like $10. Now that it's not good. This one is not going to be $10.
Rockstar could. That game could essentially, Rockstar, if anything, they could probably get away with selling it at full price at $60 online because of all the stuff that they've done.
That's what I was
60 online and 60 for the story.
Because it's like
something like that. Yeah,
they're essentially two full games.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, they're essentially two full games. Maybe we're making it worse because now they're gonna. But who knows?
They licking their palms. They like, oh, for real?
They'll be like, hey, we're gonna make it 120. We're gonna make the game 100. If you want the full set, $120, $60 for the game, $60 for online. It's
gonna be 120 with tax anyway, so you might as well just $59.99 both the online and the story separately. And then what would it be like $119.99?
Oh Jesus!
For both together?
For both together, and it'll be the 120 something with tax, because that's exactly what it's going to come up to.
Tell you what, just hey, Rockstar, if you're listening, give us free copies because I don't want to pay $120, but make it $120 for everyone else. Just saying.
Every member of CFG Game Cast should get a free copy for this marketing scheme.
There you go. For science, exactly. For science, exactly. For science. All right, guys.
Let me work with your online creator. I will tell you yes and no to every feature you have available.
I will be right back. Give me a second.
All right, cool. Yeah, no problem. It was originally going to go on, but he had to step out for a second. So I guess we can still talk about it. But anyways, so like I said, GTA is going to be a ridiculous hit. We know that May is going to be insane. But now, I guess another question is, like, if you are playing, you said you're not going to get you're not getting it day one, right?
No, I need my money for Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi. Even though I may potentially get keys for those, I would like to get the highest edition possible for Jet Set Radio. And that's going to cost me some money.
Just a real be like, hey, you want a free set of rollerblades, like the Jet Set Rocket rollerblades?
If I got a care package for Jet Set Radio, I would never see the light of day. I would be indoors looking at the skates every day.
You know what? I had no idea. I mean, I knew that you like Jet Set Radio. I didn't know you were that much of a fan of it. That's kind of interesting. That's cool. I mean, it's a great game. Don't get me wrong. And is Jet Set Radio is the first one? Then Jet Grind Radio was the one that was on Dreamcast. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that was a great game. Or no, Jet Set Radio. But what was Jet Set Radio Future? Was that something different?
JSRF was on Xbox. It was still a part of. It's the sequel for Jet Set Radio. Oh, okay. But it was on Xbox. But the reason I like Jet Set Radio a lot is because it was the first Sega title. Like pre-Yakuza, it was the first Sega title that I had played consistently that wasn't a Sonic game.
Okay, I see. Okay, that makes sense because my goodness, that is such a crazy man. Come and think of it.
And then Yakuza came about, and now I'm just the Yakuza head. It's just an RGG fan. I love it.
Well, you've been always an RGG fan. When did that's like old man? That is classic.
I'm back. What I missed? I'm so sorry, y'all.
No, we're just talking about Jet Set Radio. We're just waiting for you. Okay, but we're going to go. Okay. Yeah. But now, now since you're back, we're going to go over to your topic, Conflicted. What was your topic that you wanted to talk about? Originally, I was going to say I was going to do video. Then I just started watching the video of it, and I'm like, man, this is way too violent for TSA for TOS. So I was like, I can't do it.
Wait, for my game, you can just do like the trailer. You can just do the trailer.
I did do the trailer.
Which trailer? Which trailer was it?
It must have been. I couldn't find the most recent trailer, so I used the original trailer, and then I was like, "My God!"
Use the if you go to the Fox Games YouTube, it's like we're back, like Defiance, we're back, something like that. They actually have like an in-engine trailer, and it's not like how violent was the OG trailer. I was 13 when the game came out, bro.
There was headshots the heads were exploding.
I know what trailer you're talking about. I know what trailer you're talking about because from my video I saw that and I was like, yeah, I'm not using that shit either. But
I was like, this is way too violent.
Let me see if I can actually find the actual like where Defiance we're back.
I'm pretty sure I can find it, but you can start with your topic and then I'll look for it myself.
With my topic, right? As people may have known, I play a lot of MMOs and RPGs and stuff like that. That's like my bread and butter. I love that. I love that genre, right? So I was like 13 years old whenever this little show on Sci-Fi came on called Defiance, and I really liked the show. But then the show also had a game that correlated with it that happened to be a looter shooter MMO, basically like Borderlands, but it was online. And that game is Defiance. So the game had it was run by Tryon Worlds. For people that don't know Tryon Worlds, they tend to have like a lot of good titles at first, but then a lot of pay to win, a lot of microtransaction stuff ends up killing their games. One big game that they had was like Rift. It's like one of the biggest MMOs that they ever had. So time goes by and the game is laggy, buggy, but people are still playing it, stuff like that. And then another company acquires the game called Game Ago, and that's where MMOs go to die, basically. Then the game shuts down around like 2021, 2019, something like that. The game shuts down. So recently, the game has been acquired by an indie studio named Fox Games, and now the game is back, and the game is actually running smoother, better than ever. OG bugs that were in the game, that were always within the game, are now completely gone, and there's even more players in the game than back then. So, like, what my topic is that with something like that being a thing, what do y'all think the potential of, like, canned titles or scrap titles, whether it be an MMO, old projects that just never saw the light of day? What do y'all think like that means for the industry? Because this is like I think this is one of the first in all the industry where something like this has actually happened. Not like Final Fantasy 14 type of thing, because with that, the game was shut down, but it was being actively worked on. This game had no work on it, period. And it was just bought by an indie studio of all things, and now it's back and it's doing better than what it did before. So are we going to start seeing companies start to take that route and do that, or like what do y'all think?
No, I don't think it will.
Yeah, no.
You don't think so?
I don't think people are going to take no. I think it's more so because you said it's an indie company that did it, and I realized that most indie companies you'll find, like take Expedition 33 for example. A lot of people love the game because the devs that made the game did it based off of art of JRPGs that they liked, and it's reflected in the game. And I think that's a similar case here. The studio that bought it, somebody probably enjoyed the game. Said, hey, this is dead right now. Let's revive it and let's put our vision into it, because this is something that we enjoyed playing and we want other people to have that experience. So I think it's more so that I don't think a company like EA is gonna like revive one of their dead titles. Or take Nintendo for example. Banjo and Kazooie, where they been at? They bought the company.
They can't get it. No, it's rare. Banjo Kazooie is rare, so that would be Xbox.
Yeah, that would be Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, it's back on Xbox now?
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah. Well, because Rare got bought by Xbox a long time ago, and then the IP of Banjo Kazooie is rare. Is a rare IP, just like Perfect Dark is as well. So. They tried to release one. It was a stupid racing game that they did, or some sort of build kart game. But other than that,
nuts and bolts. Banjo
Kazooie nuts and bolts. Yeah. Xbox owns Rare. Banjo Kazooie's been gone for how long? And Xbox is complaining about not having any exclusives that do well. You could pop out Banjo Kazooie and you might break a couple of things.
But see, like for IPs like that, I see better opportunities and chances for that. Because but one of the hardest games besides like live games, like a games as a service or live games and stuff, is and most expensive kind of games is MMORPGs. That's why it's because volatile. The problem, it's very volatile, very expensive because of server prices and stuff. Because that's why if you look at the landscape now of MMOs, Now it's very, very bare relatively to what it was in the 2000s because like,
Hey.
because
I say it in my video. I'm sorry. I say it in my video, right? We've been playing the same. We basically been playing the same MMOs for the past 10 to 12 years. We've been playing WoW. I mean, we just got WoW Classic, but that's still WoW.
WoW.
Final Fantasy 14, Warframe, old school RuneScape, right? I think I might be delusional, right? I might be delusional, but I think, right? Because I talked about this earlier too, whenever we were like off cam and stuff. That it kind of, I think there is kind of hope that companies would want to do it because again, City of Heroes, right? The private, like a private server just got licensed from NCSoft. Right. All companies, NCSoft, like insane. Like, and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll let y'all make money from this. Here,
yeah, but that's incredibly that so situation rare. Was incredibly rare because usually they would keep those kind of IPs close to their chest and stuff to do it. But then on top of that, though, like when you had like, for instance, I think one of the biggest leaders was with EverQuest and stuff like Star Wars Galaxy, all that stuff are Sony IPs. And then nowadays, there's only 2 games that does a monthly service for MMOs, and that's World of Warcraft because they can get away with it because they've been around forever, and then Final Fantasy 14 because of its popularity once its revival. So like that, but like you said to what Pop's point was when Defiance came back, because don't get me wrong, Defiance was a fun game when it came back, but there just wasn't either the landscape, there were oversaturation, or it was hard to bring it. The way they brought it was kind of strong because remember they made a TV show, a live action TV show that corresponded to the MMO world itself and did a lot of crazy weird things to it. So it was already expensive as it is. So they were expecting back an expensive return back, which they never did. So they never scaled to the size of what community that they had, which was really made it pricey. But what was cool is that eventually you had someone that you said, like a Joe Schmo, that within this indie studio that said this was actually a good game, and he had a vision of this game to being successful, but at a smaller scale to what was given. And it's I don't know how long it's been out. How long has it been out, Conflicted?
It's been out 3 weeks, and it's actually at a bigger scale than what it was.
Yeah,
it's actually bigger now with a small company. It is?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit of the background on the company though. Their thing is actually MMO revivals. They actually have a whole nother MMO, very, very small compared to it, but I mean, not really small because the last I saw, they had like 10,000 people in one area. It was a game called Shia. They actually revived that, and apparently this is their second MMO to be revived successfully, which is insane from one company.
Oh, see, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. So I mean, yeah, that's awesome. But I just think like I mean, it's not official numbers, but the best way for numbers just to see is SteamDB to see how many concurrent is playing actively.
And that's the sad thing is the fact that because of what happened with Game Ago and stuff like that, they no longer have access to the Steam page. Basically, whenever Game Ago basically canned the game, they're trying to get back a Steam launch within the next couple of months because I've been paying attention to what the team's been saying, and they reached out to me a little bit since my video, and they've been kind of transparent with some things. They say it's going to take them, like they told me, like in between 6 to 7 months to even get the Steam page back going. So which is why they have their own launcher. But it's just. Yeah, they do, but SteamDB does also check because like right now it's showing that you're right because they're only showing 3 players right now playing on. I don't know how they're doing it, but 3 players playing on Steam right now. So it's a miracle. Like if they're able to keep doing what this company is doing, they're doing something that no other studio and developers are doing. If that's what their niche is to bring back like old revival games and stuff, they've found a way to do it in an inexpensive way to set it up so they're not spending. There's a lot of overhead because the engines are already there. They bought the IP and then the technology and then be able to push it out. Now, to say that we're going to see that as a normal trend for games like that, for MMOs specifically, I don't know. It's hard. It's very hard to see. It is hard to see that. City of Heroes was a passion project because that was created because the people that got the IP because NCSoft was open to give them that was a godsend. Not a lot of studios will do that because they'll keep it. They're either afraid or they're going to keep it close to their chest on with the technology that they use, even if they're never going to use it. I don't know. That took years. That took years because apparently NCSoft was like, they was like, hey, we ain't giving this. That took, from what I understand, that took years.
Yeah, and City of Heroes was one of the best customized character customizations I've ever played.
You
from
can
what
still
I remember.
play it.
Yep, that's true. For free 99, so I can't say no to that. But yeah, but like as to the point, like, you know, for other IPs, I mean, hell, look at what Sega's doing. Sega is reviving a ton of classic games from their repertoire. I mean, like they just announced that they're wanting to make a remake of a new Echo the Dolphin game, which is insane to me.
I'm gonna play the.
Oh no, they're not wanting to. They're working on a third one.
I am going to play the ever living hell. Listen, I know I'm a baby in here, but listen, I had the Echo the Dolphin on the Sega, and because listen, my mama had all my dad and uncle's games, so all my gaming experience started off at the old school. Whenever I play Echo the Dolphin, not only was it majestic and cool for me, but then whenever I actually started getting good, and then I was fighting the aliens, I almost shit me. I can't lie to you. It was scary.
It was such a weird twist of like what you've been going on. There's like, they introduced aliens in under the water. It was a great, it's a great weird situation. Man. Yeah, I mean, but look at what it is nowadays, though. Too. I mean, a lot of random IPs are just coming in. I mean, one could argue that we're already living in it. There's so many different kinds of things that are coming back that we've because of the resurgence or popularity is kind of going full circle. I mean, look at Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. That's a game that's been in the shadows for over 20 years, and we finally get a sequel to that. You know, I mean, it's just we're in a good place in an area. But I think specifically MMOs, I don't think that it's. I think that's harder to kind of see in the future.
Volatile.
I mean, unless these people
just like y'all said, it's so volatile. But I do believe, if anything, I do believe because like you said, Star Wars Galaxy, Sony, and stuff like that. I do believe that again, somebody would come for something like Star Wars Galaxy because another point to my topic, because I know my topic's kind of long. So just to kind of somewhat end it and then people can still segue from it. Another point was being brought up that since the Defiance relaunch has actually been really, really good, people started bringing up games such as like WildStar and Star Wars Galaxies again, being at the fact that, they believe that it's like, this doesn't deter the possibility, right? Yeah. And if you even look at like if Star Wars Galaxy came back, there is like a chance because even though Blizzard is really, really big, right? For a long time, they told people, yeah, y'all don't want a WoW classic. Y'all don't want a vanilla WoW. And then they made it. And next thing you know, they had hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of subscriptions come back in with WoW Classic. It's just insane.
But Blizzard's a beast in itself.
That's what I'm saying. It is a beast.
Yeah, like Blizzard saw the money that was there that was there because they saw these private servers there and how popular they were, and they're like, we want a piece of that pie. So I think Blizzard's a little bit of the exception, but these smaller companies, like especially I think one of the big ones that was really that you hated to see go was WildStar. WildStar was fairly popular, and it sucked to see them lose like when they disappeared. I think in 2022. I can see WildStar coming back if anything, but. Like, and if a studio like the one that re-released Defiance. Well, first off, do you have to pay for Defiance? How does it work?
Free to play, just like the OG game.
So is there microtransactions? How do they get their money? There
is microtransactions, but basically what they've been doing, because like again, whatever happened, from what I understand. Whenever the original company got it, it was like such a messy transaction and such messy code and stuff like that. They basically got given like crumbs, and they basically worked from the ground up to fix things that were really bad bugs and fix things that were missing from the game. So there's still like parts missing from the game. So you can do get like Patreon for like $10, which is like some boosted stuff, but it's not really anything. I didn't spend money in the game until I think level 1000, which is like 1,000 ego. Basically, that's like level 1000. I didn't spend anything until that point, and that was like 50 plus hours in. There's there's like free things that you can get in the game, like free inventory, all that stuff like that. But there is microtransactions, but the microtransactions themselves are mostly cosmetic. There is stuff like you see in every other MMO, like level boosts and stuff like that, but that's like industry standard now. Right. Okay, fair enough. But nothing predatory, because whenever the game was out, from the research that I did, there was like pay to win, like pay for power. Now it's just more of a pay for convenience and I want my character to look great type of thing. That's what it is now.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, yeah, no, I like that. That's definitely a good topic. Conflict. That's a really good point. I didn't really think about that. Well, it's actually good to know that you play MMO because I stay away from them now.
Because it's a lot of time, man. It's a lot of time to play. I don't blame you.
It's a time sink, exactly. And it's just like, okay. I mean, even though, don't get me wrong, I was playing Final Fantasy 14. Well, 14, it's a long story with 14, but we'll go with that. but Pop, what do you close this off? What was your topic?
I love Pop's topic. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Sega has opened its first physical store in Shanghai, China, and the store in Japan will open up this summer. They haven't given a date, but it will open up in Shibuya. You know, where everything happens to go down. Doesn't matter if it's an anime or a video game. You know, Shibuya has everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shibuya is very interesting. Okay. But yeah, it's always fun to go there. It's going to be expensive. I just know that. It's always expensive over in the Shibuya street.
But I think first, what I find interesting about the store, because, you know, a lot of people, the general public, when they hear Sega, they immediately think of Sonic. What I like about the store is that Sonic isn't necessarily at the forefront of the store. Like, there's different sections in the store geared towards their other IPs, which I find to be very interesting. Like, yeah, they have Sonic trinkets throughout because, you know, Sonic Movie 3 still getting popular from that, you know, people talking about the spin-off series, all that stuff. But I think the physical store is an interesting choice, especially since, you know, there's been talks about trying to bridge both a generational and, you know, transnational gap between fans of Sega, you know, products, whether it be movies, games. You know, they're over TMS Entertainment. So if you watch things like Sakamoto Days or Case Closed or Dr. Stone, I am afraid to tell you that if you hate Sega, you are a hypocrite. So it's very interesting that they're not only opened the first physical store, but they have plans to open up the second one locally, since, you know, it is a Japanese company, and they have plans to open it up in other areas. Now we all know Nintendo already has physical stores. You know, they already have this like tight knit thing with, alleged tight knit thing, since, you know, some members of the community are yelling about, you know, the $80 Mario Kart game. That's between y'all. Y'all got that. I'm not a Mario Kart fan, so that's between y'all and Nintendo. I hope y'all can work that out. But with Sega's idea of opening up the physical store, where do y'all think this will take Sega on a global scale? Like, a lot of their IPs are already popular out here in the West. The only IP that's super popular in Japan right now is the RGG Like a Dragon series. Considering that, like, most of the people that make all these different cameo appearances in the game, if you ever watch an RGG Direct and they talk with the voice actors and actresses, they're like, oh yeah, I've always played the game. I've loved the games. I've always wanted to be in one. I'm just like, I didn't know that game was super popular over there. And I'm wondering, you know, do you think this is a push, since they're reviving so many of their older classics, that this will, you know, bridge that generational gap that and I'm not really quite sure what they mean by the generational gap, because, you know, my mom was the one that introduced me to Sega titles.
Well, I think the generational gap can go two ways, in my opinion, because the first thing is the fact that they're bringing back old IPs that we grew up, like, the OGs grew up on. I mean, they're big. Yeah. They're really getting aggressive on bringing back, like, old titles that we haven't seen in literal decades, and then they're making new versions of it. I mean, one of the things that we're hyped about is seeing the new Virtua Fighter stuff for tomorrow when the announcement comes out
tomorrow.
Yeah. Even though granted, the most recent of all the IPs that they've been talking about is Virtua Fighter, because Virtua Fighter came out, Virtua Fighter 5 came out on the PS3 was when the first version of it came out, and we're just now finally getting hyped that a new one's finally coming. Like, I mean, you know, so like, I mean, and that's the most recent. We're not even talking about, like you're saying, Crazy Taxi, Shinobi that's coming out later this year. It's going to be like the 2D that's being made by the same folks who did Streets of Rage. No, it's not made by the same people. It's Sega in house. So, but still, the style looks so much similar. But still, it's like I think that's what they're meaning about the generational gap. Itself, it's like saying, okay, this is what the old guard was messing with back in the day when they were growing up. Now we're wanting to kind of make a reintroduction to all that, to the to the future, and to the younger, to the newer audience. As for the physical store, I mean, I'm glad. I'm actually surprised that they don't have a physical store in Japan. Because it's weird that, because like they used to have a physical location, but it was the arcades that they used to have down in Akihabara. But when they sold that off to, I believe it was Taito, when they sold that off, they basically don't have any kind of front facing kind of thing. And they're dipping. I think they're dipping their toes in it again, because you said that the next location that they're doing was it Singapore, or was it
Shanghai?
It's in Shanghai right now, but it's going to
Shanghai?
Shibuya next. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that tells you right. It is. It's very interesting that they go to Shanghai before they go to Japan when it's a Japan-based company, which is funny to me, in my opinion. But like, I think that's just going to strengthen their case to see what the test is on the appeal of the brand itself, of like how strong would Sega is Sega going to kind of put their end on merch with merch and stuff like that, besides just, you know, the obvious one with Sonic and stuff. But like, I guarantee you though, if they have RGG merch, I think that would sell. Like, I mean, because now
it's in the
to
store.
a point that
Yakuza has its own section.
I would buy a million.
Yeah, it's confirmed that
fucking
Sonic,
shirts.
Yakuza, from the people that have been there, Yakuza, Sonic, Persona, and it's like 2 other IPs. They all have like their own individual sections in the store. I'm like, that's super dope.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, Metaphor, anything that's Atlas essentially right now. I mean, the Atlas is also hot. So like, it's just like, yeah. So I think that they're using that as like a testing bed to see what is the interest that these people are going to kind of get into, you know, and go from there. So yeah, I mean, I think they're doing the right moves overall, because Sega has kind of been overlooked for a long time. But when in reality, they do have a ton of good memorable IPs. And whoever works on them correctly, you can easily see them to become like a strong, you know, developer, instead of the running joke about like, why are they whoring out Sonic in the different kinds of, you know, different kinds of ways and different kinds of things, you know,
such a strong term.
It is. I mean, dude, like, when you see where Sonic started,
you got me thinking of Sonic as like a man of the night with high heels.
Oh my God. He essentially is, in my opinion. I know maybe Pop doesn't agree
like
with me.
Persona's a little worse than that, and in that regard.
Dude, they never missed. Well, Persona still never really kind of missed their identity with Sonic. Sonic was like originally 2D platformer and stuff like that, which is cool. Then when they switched to 3D, that's when they hoard them out, dude. Like,
oh my God.
Black, like the White Knight, the like all these different kinds of stuff, kind of like what Zelda is in a way.
The
where
Wii
it comes to all these different kinds of
stories
systems.
were actually the strongest of the Sonic
Unleashed.
stories. I will say that
like,
the storytelling arc for the Sonic games are actually the strongest set.
Yeah, I remember
story wise.
I remember whenever Shadow had a blicky and he was toting that eye.
Yeah, with Shadow the Hedgehog with a gun. You know, I mean, like,
eye.
it's basically making it like, dude, like there's the one where it's like Sonic Unleashed, he's a beast form, a werewolf. Like, oh, you remember that time when Sonic the Hedgehog was a werewolf and stuff?
That was such a cool game, though. That game was pretty cool.
I'm just saying that Sonic wasn't just about gotta go fast. That's all I'm saying. It's like they decided to make it to do so many different kinds of things. I mean, it's not a neg on Sonic. It's just they just decided to say we're gonna make him have an array of different kinds of situations and things and stuff. And then they kind of went back to basics most recently with the
a lot of situations though
Sonics.
came from the comics, and they had to like pick and choose what they could do, because the thing
weird.
with Sonic Unleashed was that was supposed to be his dark side with the negative side of the Chaos Emeralds, but of course, you know, they couldn't put in Dark Sonic because, you know, Redacted was doing all these lawsuits and things and trying to make claims to things when, you know, long story short, it's just when you are super familiar with the lore in the comics, and as well as all the legal stuff they had to go through, it makes sense why they did what they did, and you can kind of cut them some slack. I say kind of because I have no idea why they decided to go with the multiverse thing with Sonic Boom, because
that thing was crazy. That thing was crazy. Oh my God.
They took so many different liberties with that IP, and it's not. I'm not saying
hilarious.
it's good or I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying that's what they did. So that's all I'm saying.
No. I was a little shocked with the whole multiverse thing that they decided to. I mean, granted, it started earlier than that with Sonic Generations, but even then, I'm like, what in the world is going on?
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, but what do you think about it, Conflicted? Do you have what's your opinion about it?
I'm not gonna lie. I really think. Because I'm doing it 2 parts like you, the generational gap in the physical store. Overall, though, I feel like that they put on their Yakuza vest and they said, "Listen here, we about to make some power plays." The physical store is very, very interesting. Just like from me learning in school and all that, and then just like looking around at certain things, it might be different how it is in the States. But like I know in the States, physical stores kind of are like dying. So it was just kind of like interesting, right? Because I mean, you have the convenience of like online shipping and things like that. So I think the physical store is like a big, bold thing. But I think it'll do great because they ain't no way if I'm a tourist, I'm not going there.
I mean, the Nintendo store here in the U.S. is still up and running.
It is up and running. It's more of the stuff like whenever I say like physical stores in the U.S., it's like, what is it? It's the more of the like whenever you look at like the clothing stores and stuff like that, right? So it's like that kind of makes me a little worried, but at the same time,
only that though too, but the Nintendo store also, they've only had one location for 30 years. It's like they just literally. Yeah, it was only in New York for the longest of time, and they just now expanding it to San Francisco. That's coming out in a couple of weeks. So so 2 stores throughout their history of Nintendo. That's what I'm saying. So I think the way they did it is what's kind of like to your point. It's like they don't want to franchise it out because it's too much. I think, or too much of a risk with brick and mortar.
I mean, because whenever you look at how things are, right, like people aren't necessarily going into stores like that, like how they used to. But it could also be a cultural thing, right? Because I know, like whenever I was in Japan, whenever I was in the service, you see people walking around all the time. Whereas like in the like how things are done in the States and stuff like that, you have to drive to go somewhere. So then it becomes inconvenient and shit for the majority of the part. I'm sorry if I'm not supposed to cuss, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Basically, there's no, it's not really a problem to walk anywhere and go into a store and do that. So like in the States, it's vastly different, right? What I feel about bridging the gap, like how y'all said, they're bringing back older titles and stuff like that, and it still go back into my realms with the MMOs and all that. Crazy Taxi being an MMO like game, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna buy it. I used to love playing Crazy Taxi. I was like 10 playing Crazy Taxi, and even them doing like all those older titles is just like that, bringing those older titles to newer faces. Like me, because I'm still quite young, so some of the older titles I don't know about, right? Even this is what I've heard. I've heard some things because we talked about Phantasy Star. They're even thinking about doing a OG Phantasy Star remake, from what I've heard, and almost like in a way
RPG version, like the original ones before the online.
The online, like the GameCube, Dreamcast. They're trying to do it. From what I heard, they're trying to do it in a WoW classic kind of way. Like, hey, you remember this? Oh well. Yeah, it's back. But that's what I've heard through the grapevine and a couple of people. But I won't know for sure. But that's a definite. You can take all my money and a year's worth of subscription thing. So I feel like they're I mean, these guys, Sega is that they're rock stars to me. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's a W move all the way around. There's no lie about. There's no.
I mean, they've been really strong with publishing games recently. Like I think last year, with the exception of one title that they didn't develop, most of their games had a rating of like 7 or higher.
Just great games all around, right? They might not be as like strong as they used to be whenever they had their own consoles and stuff, but they're still a really strong company. You hear CFGAirr, people think of Sega, of course they think of Sonic, but then you could just hear the Sega. Like who doesn't know that, right? Like who doesn't know that? Like, so I feel like it's a W. It's a W all the way around. And
I think what's good for Sega is like they already have an established brand. It's just getting their footing back because y'all know Sony messed them up with the PlayStation, and now PlayStation has to deal with what they did to Sega, to Microsoft and the Xbox, and I think Nintendo is gonna stronghold both of them.
They already
Most
are.
likely.
I mean, well, no, I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
they already are, yeah.
that's the one thing. It's just that most people kind of think of like, because like I've always said this. It's kind of funny. Sega or Nintendo goes on the beat of their own drum. They don't care because like essentially,
Yeah.
like I have said, and I kind of joke, but it's real. Like you can't like Nintendo can do like so far how the feeling I have with Nintendo is that they can do no wrong because they literally sold us cardboard with Labo. And then there was and it was a success. It was a success. 5 months ago, they sold an alarm clock with Alarmo, and that was a success. On paper, it shouldn't be a success because it's stupid.
They sold you an emulator with an online subscription that you could do for free. Not saying you should, because it's technically illegal, but that you could do for free.
Yeah,
and it's successful.
They're already. I mean, I think it's like the like Nintendo is the shadows. Sony's we already know is successful because of how they've marketed their system, even though they are dropping the ball, in my opinion. But still, there's still like it's no contest. But like to have a good, strong publisher, like say if Sega is like the vision, what I'm seeing in Sega is probably the most focused I have seen Sega do in a long time, is what I'm saying, because like they've come to realize that like I mean their golden goose, which is Sonic the Hedgehog, is I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still successful. They still get, I mean, I think they sold like 3.5 million units on the most recent Sonic game, which is really good for them. But and then they know and they recognize how strong Atlas itself now is, the studio, with their bangers with Persona, and now with Metaphor, even though and with Metaphor, and RGG is the third cornerstone of it. And you know, RGG letting them do their thing, let them cook the way that they like to cook. But now it's kind of like, okay, we're wanting to see that. Now we're wanting to bring back the old stuff. You know what I would love to see as a remake? Kid Chameleon. I would love to see a Kid Chameleon remake.
You posted that on Blue Sky one time. I remember that. You posted that on Blue Sky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, like if they're willing to go all in on classics and stuff, especially if they're bringing back Echo the Dolphin. I mean, like it was something that they haven't like heard or talked about in the 90s. Why the hell not? I mean, the floodgates are apparently open over there. But if this resurgence of stuff that's going to come back with these IPs that people remember enough and love, and it's successful, oh my god! I mean, I'm hoping for the best for Sega for this. So we'll see. We'll just see what the next gen is going to be.
See what it's like when Shinobi drops. Honestly, Shinobi comes out in August.
Yo, Shinobi is going to be insane. You're going to have a lot of OG. I mean, I've already seen it on social media. You're going to have a lot of OG people just like, oh my God, yes. Well, but there was like another Sega title, or it might not be Sega. Like, listen, spare me. I'm the young one. So like, is Alter Beast a Sega title?
Yes, Alter Beast is a Sega title. That was
I would love to see. Whoa. Okay, listen, it didn't look good, okay, but it was kind of fun. I liked playing Altered Beast, okay,
from the 80s. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, no,
I would like to see that back again, because I felt like it was quite interesting. I didn't like the newer that of the newer version of the games that came out in like 2000s, because they looked terrible. But I would like to see a relaunch of that. That would be great. That could be like a gore, just like a gore fest, like 100%.
Oh my god. Oh, absolutely. But no, we'll see. Like I said, I'm rooting for Sega. I definitely think, if anything, if they're going to be bringing back IPs, it's going to strengthen their cases for really cool stuff that they've made in the past to be put into a era for the future. So I am totally down for it, and I can't wait till for us to check it out, to check out Virtua Fighter. I am so hyped for Virtua Fighter 6, I guess, essentially, right?
I don't really know what they're gonna call it. Right now it's just Virtua Fighter, but I guess I'm hoping tomorrow we'll get at least a title for it, since it is a direct, and we'll get some more information.
I'm going into rank mode day one whenever it launches. I'm going straight into ranked 1000%.
Who did you play?
Bro, it's been a while. The last Virtua Fighter game I played was legit on the PS2.
Oh my god! So that was.
I don't remember. I don't
was
even
4.
remember. I don't remember characters' names. I really don't remember. I think there was like this one. This is crazy. Like, this is how my grandparents talk about like kung fu movies. But like, there's this one Karate Man.
Karate Man. Akira.
Yes. Okay. I played him, and there was this one female. She had like military attire or military camo on.
Vanessa.
Was it Vanessa? Was it Vanessa or Sarah?
Yeah, Vanessa wears the camo.
And I know Sarah's in the game, but then I played Sarah. I used to main Sarah in Dead or Alive.
No, that's a different Sarah.
That's a different Sarah. They have
that's a different Sarah, yeah.
Oh, no. Wait.
That's the same Sarah.
She did come.
Oh, I mean, she was a
crossover character.
Appearance.
Yeah,
right.
She was
it's
the same
character.
She had the same moves whenever she be flicking her leg and stuff in the same outfit.
You're right. I totally forgot. What's it called? Oh, Haseo made a good point. Panzer Dragoon. That would be a really cool remake for them to do. To do in that. That would be.
I remember Panzer Dragoon 2
on the Sega Saturn. See, that's something that's something that's been pulled because that was only they did have a Panzer Dragoon that came out on the Xbox, but it wasn't the same kind of game.
No,
so
it was
not. Mm-hmm. But no, my mains were Jackie. I remember Jackie Bryant, and that was Sarah's brother, and my man Shundai, Drunken Punch brother.
Oh my god, Shundai.
Yeah, you got it. Ever since I saw the Drunken Master from Jackie Chan. You got to represent that Drunken Punch, man.
The clean version of Borracho.
Yes, a Borracho. Oh yeah, the clean, super clean.
The super clean version of Borracho.
Super clean. He wasn't throwing up on people. So there you go. Yeah, there you go. Alyssa on YouTube says yes, Vanessa in the camo. Yeah, and they had DLC in DOA 5 last round. So yeah, that's right. I totally. The reason why I don't remember DOA 5 is because I never played it.
You never played DOA?
I know I played DOA. I just never played DOA 5. I did play. Yeah. It was just a shame of what happened in 6. So like 6 never caught on because it never. Yeah, never.
That wasn't the level. That hurt me so much.
Mm-hmm.
They could make a comeback though. I mean, we got Ninja Gaiden 4 on the way. I didn't think that story would ever continue, but.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I feel like Tecmo's direction and DOA, it's not the same kind. They never really were on the same page as the creator of the DOA series. So it might be a tall order. It's good if the next DOA happens, it's not going to be with the original people, the creators, because I don't even think he's there anymore. So we'll see. But anyways, folks. Oh, before I do that, Conflicted, do you want to kind of plug where people can see you and stuff?
I get nervous doing these things. I just like having the fun. But
you're right, my man.
You're right. Y'all can find me on Twitch as ConflictedAirr, as it's spelled here. You can find me on Blue Sky also, ConflictedAirr TTV. Basically, YouTube, ConflictedAirr TV, or just at ConflictedAirr, since YouTube has a new thing now. And that's basically that. I have other socials, but I don't post on them as frequently. So definitely my Twitch, my YouTube, and Blue Sky, all the places you can find me. Same name, basically everywhere. Awesome, great deal. Well, Conflicted, it was great to geek out with you this episode. It was really fun having you here. But folks, thank you for listening to episode number 262 of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. As always, we will be back again with a brand new set of topics next week. But if you did miss out on this episode, that is perfectly all right. We do release it on all podcast services at the beginning of each and every week. So there is absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices. Ooh, since Smitty isn't here, because Smitty has the low ring voice on all that. So, but guys, thank you so much, and also check us out. There's going to be an awesome interview that I'm going to be doing that I did with Love, Death, and Robots creator Tim Miller. That's going to be happening this week on our website, conflictsgeeks.com, and on our YouTube page. So definitely stay tuned for that. It was a really fun episode, even though I messed up his name. I said his name wrong when I first met him, but far from it. It's okay. But guys, but once again, this is Davis, Pop, and Conflicted. Y'all take it easy. I love it here. The furniture's nice. Never leave.